I'm gonna jump now from the opening game all the way to the end game, because that's actually the simplest stage of the game to play. So before I do that, I want to make a couple of definitions. First, let's define some action zones on the board. First off is the front position, and that would be basically your side of the board over here from your 11 point all the way down to your 1 point. This is where your offense takes place. This is where you build a prime formation like this, or you go for a blitz attack where you put me on the bar, you close me out, and you just make homeboard points, and you win by closeout. All of that action takes place here in your front position. And vice versa, my front position is over here on my side of the board. A lot of the actions take place in the front position, so they're important. Next up, we have the middle position. So in your case, that would be the outer board out here from more or less my 8 point to your midpoint. The middle position is also important because you start the game like this with a lot of checkers on the midpoint. That's your reservoir of builders. They're supposed to come down to your front position and help to build the prime. And also the mid position establishes outfield control. So every time I try to escape a checker, you have a chance of hitting me right back so I don't escape. Also, the mid position serves as the connecting tissue between your back position and your front position. If you don't have a mid position, your back position checkers have a long way to travel to get all the way home to your front position. And then the third and final action zone is the back position, and that would be here from your 24 point out to your 18 point. This is your back position, and the objective is typically to try to establish an advanced anchor as early as possible to avoid getting primed, essentially. Next up, we have the 3 stages of the game. So again, this definition is also very useful, as you will see later on in terms of strategy, that we kind of have to apply different strategies in each of these stages of the game. The first stage is the way we start out. And the definition is that both players still have back checkers. That would be checkers in your opponent's front position. So as long as you have checkers in my front position, we're still in stage, and the same for me, and I have checkers in your front position, we're still in stage 1. So sometimes it's like, maybe I'm on the bar, maybe you're here, you have a prime, and so do I have a prime. It's all just still in the first stage of the game because both of us have checkers in your opponent's front position. The second stage is when one of the players establishes full freedom. So full freedom is the definition when you empty your enemy's front position completely. So if these guys, let's say you have rolled an early double 6, and now you roll a double 4, and you just run all the way, here we go. Now we're in the second stage of the game. You have full freedom, while I don't have full freedom. I'm still trapped down here. So this is, again, a change in strategy because now you have a big advantage. Getting to full freedom first is a very big advantage. And then the final stage of the game is just when all contact is broken and we're just in a straight race. Now it's just a dice game, much simpler strategy, and mostly just rolling big dice. However, there is a little bit of strategy here, and that's what I want to talk about now. When we are in a straight race like this, what you don't want to do is to dump all of your checkers into deep points like this and end up with a formation that looks something like this. If you played your race and you end up with this kind of structure, you probably did something wrong. The best way is when you're bringing your checkers in is to aim for the triangle shape. So the triangle shape looks like this. With this structure, I have minimized the time it took to get in while still maximizing a good checker distribution to get them out fast. So over here, if you played your race and you end up like this, you spend too much energy and time getting your checkers all the way in deep here. And you didn't create a good distribution to get your checkers off fast because you have gaps here, which is which means that if you get all your checkers home and you roll a 5, you're not going to take a checker off. So the triangle structure seems to optimize for that. It minimizes time to get in and optimizes pair-off distribution to get them out. So this would be a good way to play. Also, another idea in the endgame is that you want to fill out the gaps. So let's say here that you have a, let's say we have a position like this, and you roll a, let's say you roll a 5-4. It's very important that you fill out the gap. So the 5 must be played like this. Now the 4, I would say the 4 you should also bring a checker in, of course, because you need to get your checkers in before you can take them out. But it doesn't matter too much. I think this 4 is fine, and this 4 is also fine. Maybe this 4 would be a mistake, because look, you're not distributing your checkers well. This one is a little bit off here, and you might have a gap here in the future. So I would say this 4 is wrong, but either of the 2 other 4s are fine. They're probably more or less the same in value. Last thing I want to say about the endgame strategy is that every time you can take out 2 checkers or more, you do it. So let's say we're now in the pair-off stage here, and let's say you roll a 6-1, for instance. Like, the right way to play is just to take off 2 checkers. You don't want to play 6 out and then play an ace here or something like that. Always maximize the amount of checkers you can bear off. It's literally always the right play.